Hi there.
Hi.
Jay Ziebart here with Plant Based for Life. I'm here in Sivika's kitchen. I am so excited about the recipe she's going to be showing us today. It looks delicious. The sauce tastes amazing. And so I'm going to tip the camera back down so that you can see what Sivika is doing. So,
Okay, the first thing we'll do the dressing. So the dressing will have almond butter. I guess Jay will send you the link with all the recipes in it. So this is almond butter, a quarter cup, and 1.5 tablespoon of lime juice, fresh one of course. And we have 1 tablespoon of rice white vinegar. And instead of sesame oil, we're going to substitute just sesame seed, and then Jay will tell you what else you can put in there instead. It'll be tasting just as good. And half tablespoon of honey. I use a whole tablespoon because I think it tastes better. You can also substitute agave, and this is what I'm using agave today. 1 teaspoon of fresh grated garlic, and not garlic, ginger. I'm getting nervous, Jay.
you're good. You're awesome.
And 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And this is what makes it really good is sriracha sauce. 1/2 tablespoon. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of water. So I'm going to put all of these in the blender. And I guess we need to shut down the noise. And I'll be right back.
So as Savika's putting all of those things in her blender, let's just talk a little bit about the oil substitution. So the original recipe calls for oil, but you know, oil is a highly processed food. So we want to be really avoiding that as much as possible. And sesame seeds are absolutely delicious, a great source of calcium, good source of protein, really, really fantastic. And they add a nice little bite, a little bit of a very tiny, tiny little crunch to the salad. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about leaving out a little bit of oil. Usually a recipe can handle it just fine. If you need to add a little bit more liquid, you could do something like a veggie stock, or even just add a little extra water. There's some water in this recipe already if you need it to be a little juicier. There's plenty of flavor. I've tasted the sauce and it is extremely flavorful. This recipe is fantastic, and I'm so excited that Sivika is showing it to us, and I'm so excited to be invited to her kitchen and to be doing this with her. This is so much fun. So she is going to fire up her jet engine blender here in just a second. So I'm going to put you on mute and we'll be right back with you. Okay, I see we have a hand up in the participants. Because this is a webinar, we can't hear you. So if you could put your questions in the Q&A or the chat, and I'll be monitoring that so we can answer any questions or listen to any comments that you have. Thank you.
Okay, so the sauce is done. It smells absolutely wonderful.
It smells amazing.
Okay, so now we're going to do the vegetable. We have 2 zucchini, and I never use it. This is so much fun. And this is what we're going to get, a noodle. Instead of spaghetti, we're going to use zucchini. Wrap this up. It's so much fun to do this. Oops. There, now you can sit better.
So this is a manual zoodler, zoodle maker. You can do lots of different kinds of hard vegetables in these. This one's a manual one. We actually have an electric one here in the kitchen that was lent to us. And there are ones that you can get attached to your mix masters, you know, your big kitchen mixers. This one is really one of the lesser expensive ones, and it's really good because you get little arm workout in there too. You can also get ones that just look like potato peelers. They're just kind of wide potato peelers, and they'll give you nice long strips. It just takes a little bit longer. See how fast that was?
Workout in. And that's it. Check this out. This is so refreshing. Okay. Some zucchini. And I'm also going to do jicama. Do you want to talk about the jicama?
So yeah, jicama is fantastic. Jicama is just a tiny bit sweet, but it is mostly just crisp and fresh. It is just really, really a lovely thing to add to any sort of salad to give you just a little fresh bite to it. It's wonderful. So you can go ahead and make these into thin slices. You can use a mandolin, or you can shape it into a small enough space so that you can use your zoodler again. And that's what Sivika is doing. So let's go ahead. There you go. Now we have really light, sweet, fresh little zoodles in there too. All of these are really, really good. You can see that there are some carrots in there as well. Late carrots can be a little trickier. You need a carrot that is wide enough to fit properly into a zoodler. So you can just do it grated or really, really thin slices, maybe on a mandolin or something like that. Don't you sometimes cook your veggies?
Oh, you know what else too? It's good. We're gonna do these all fresh vegetable, but if you want to saute it just a little bit, like maybe 5 minutes, it will absorb the dressing better, and I think it's good also. Just a thing, in case you don't want to have a nice crunchy.
Raw vegetables are fantastic for us, but it's really a good idea to include some cooked for your health as well, because they make certain nutrients more absorbable.
Okay, so do I have to come on? Good enough. Yeah, we want to use all that. And it's also sweet. Okay, and the carrots are done. You want to do that again? No, I think we'll do that. Okay, so that's it. So we have 2 zucchini. We have 1 carrot, 1 big carrot, some jicamas, really fun, and some more carrot. This one I did it earlier. It's like a little string. You know, 1 bell pepper, and you slice it nice and thin like this. Oh, this is so sweet. And half a cup of green onions, a 1/4 cup of cilantro. This is really nice and refreshing. 2 tablespoons of toasted almond. And for your protein, we have 1 cup of quinoa. And let's mix them all up.
So we have a question here. The last time, Judith asks, the last time I shopped, I couldn't find jicama. Is it seasonal? No. So not really, but it isn't something that all stores carry. The only place I've consistently found it is, at places like Whole Foods. I haven't, oh, the Hispanic market apparently as well?
Yes,
very good. Very good. I imagine that a place like Sprouts will probably have it on a regular basis, but I know the only one I know for sure is Whole Foods.
Actually, I've seen them at the Ralph's and the Stater Brothers.
Okay.
Okay, so they're pretty popular.
You just might have to look a little bit for them, and usually they're already all chopped up. Usually, you find them in containers. I very rarely see the whole root.
Okay.
Yeah,
let me show you something.
Have the whole root?
Yes, I do. This is fresh jicama that I found is at the Asian market. Cool. And it comes with the roots, and it's even the green with it. I haven't tasted it, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be so refreshing. But the one that you normally see in the market looks like this. This is what you see at the market, like a little brown, and then that's the inside. Okay.
So typically you peel that outer skin off and just use that white inner. Debbie also says that she's found it in Mexican markets as well.
Where?
Mexican markets.
Yes.
Very good.
Sometimes we want to cut this a little bit because when it comes out too long, hard to eat.
But it's so pretty.
I know, I want to cut it. Okay, and we got the bell peppers. Yeah, this is so sweet. And 1/2 cup of green onions, cilantro, quinoa, almond, toasted almond,
all those gorgeous colors.
Oh, it is. And this is our dressing.
Now, don't be afraid to try different veggies. If you're not a fan of peppers, if you're not a fan of cilantro, or you want to try a different kind of grain, get creative with it. It's really, the sauce is really what makes it, and all those beautiful fresh ingredients. So this is going to be absolutely delicious. But if you see of anything in here that you're like, I'm not a big fan of whatever that is, then just swap it out with something you like.
Absolutely. You're going to find that jicama is so nice and crunchy, and it gives it a different flavor. And we just toss them all up. If you're going to cook the vegetable, I would start off with the carrot because that takes longer, and then add in your zucchini. I would not put the bell pepper in there because you want to taste the crunchy there, and it's same with jicama. You don't want to put that in there.
So how long do you cook those veggies for?
No more than 5 minutes.
Okay, just a little light saute.
Just a little light. That's it.
Oh my goodness, I wish you all could smell this. It smells amazing.
Gosh. And then the quinoa. Does everybody know how to cook quinoa? And you know what they look like? Should we show them?
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay, let me show you what it looks like.
So quinoa is fantastic because it cooks just as fast as white rice, but it is a whole grain. And so it's a little bit higher in protein. It's really, really lovely. It's actually considered a seed, but go ahead.
This is quinoa. Can you see it? This is quinoa. And yeah, it does look like a little seed.
So it takes about 15 minutes to cook it, and you cook it pretty much exactly the way you would cook white rice. So
actually, I'll show you what it looks like.
Cute little seeds, and they just swell up, and they get a little sprout on them, and they are so delicious. They are very almost nutty tasting.
Yes.
They have just a little tiny pop to them. They're a lot of fun to eat. They're great in salads, really good cold. So perfect for salad.
I found a good recipe for it is most of the time it's 1 part of quinoa and 2 parts of water.
Okay, perfect.
And you can also use like vegetable stock. And then you bring it to boil. You cook it for maybe 10 minutes or so. Then turn off the heat and keep the covers on. After 5 minutes, you can just flop up with fork and you have it.
That's awesome.
And
And remember, for my plant-based folks out there, veggie stock is a great way to add flavor. Another thing I like to do with grains, especially quinoa, is to saute some onion and garlic in a pan and then toss in the quinoa with it. It is so delicious. And then I'll just add some chopped zucchini or some broccoli or something. And it is so, so fantastic. Okay, so I've got a couple more questions here. Debbie asks, and Teresa asks, will we be able to get copies of the recipe? Absolutely. Everybody that's on my email list will get a copy of the recipe. I'll make sure to put that link in the chat so that everyone has it. Thank you for asking that, Debbie and Teresa. Judith also asks, do they have frozen quinoa like they have rice? Absolutely, they do.
Oh, Trader Joe's, huh?
Trader Joe's has it. Trader Joe's has brown rice and quinoa. Absolutely fantastic.
But it's so easy to make.
It is really easy, but
Very easy.
I'm all about cutting corners. So if you need to make it easier for yourself, then buy the frozen because it's just as good.
That's it.
All right.
So
Look at how fast that recipe was to put together. That is absolutely fantastic.
one thing I want to add is on the recipe, it doesn't have jicama. So maybe Jay will add that on there so that way everybody can have
As
it.
an option, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I have this recipe and I will be sending it out. Okay. If you are not on my email list, I have included
Please look
the
at
link to
that.
sign up. It's free. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful that is.
You know what else would be good in there, Jay? It's beets. Have fresh beets like yellow
Yes.
beets
Mm,
and orange beet? Oh, it's so sweet.
yum, yum, yum. And you can eat beets raw.
Yes,
If you
you
wanted
can.
to cook them, you could do that too. Dee says, wow, yum, yum, yummy. Thank you.
It is.
It
Believe
smells
me.
amazing.
Okay.
Marilyn says, looks so good.
It is delicious. Jay, should we try some of it?
We should, absolutely. Yay,
Okay.
I get to try it. Yasmin says, great job. I cook most of all of what you have for ingredients. The jicama is available in Ralph's or other grocery stores. That's fantastic. Thank you, Yasmin. I get to try it. I'm so lucky.
Yes, you are lucky.
Okay, we have another question here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Debbie asks, does the taste of the salad get better if you put it aside for a while? Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Everything will get to marinate more. Tomorrow it will taste even better.
Even better.
That's what's nice about this recipe. You can make this like a night before, and then you can bring it for lunch.
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
You never, see, you want to cut the zoodle a little bit, so that way you can get all this stringy. But, oh my goodness.
It is so delicious. Okay, I see you, Yasmin. I'll make sure to get that, your email on my list. Let's see here. Thank you for that question, Debbie. We have one more question I saw somewhere. Okay, so what would you recommend for, Teresa asks, you're so cute. What would you recommend for us poor people who don't have a spiralizer for zucchini? So what you can do is just use a potato peeler. It takes a little bit more time, but you just peel, 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 turn, 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 peel, 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 turn, 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 turn. It'll take you a little bit more time, but you'll get a nice little workout in before you eat your yummy salad. Good question. This is delicious.
So good.
I wish we could share this with you. So it's really, the sauce is so flavorful. The veggies add a nice little juicy, crunchy hit, plus the sesame seeds, plus the almonds. It's just an absolutely glorious mixture.
And the lime juice.
Lime is such a great thing to add just to brighten all the flavors up.
You can almost twirl these like you're eating spaghetti. Look.
Let me just check. Let me know. Go ahead, and aren't her serving bowls so cute? That's what Debbie said. Thank you, Debbie. I'm just checking to make sure there are no other questions or comments. Oh, Marcia says you can get a zoodler at Bed Bath & Beyond for $20. So if that's in your budget, check out Bed Bath & Beyond. Linda asks, is there such a thing as smell-a-zoom? If there is, I want to use it because I cannot even tell you how amazing this smells. And it tastes so fantastic. So this is one of these things that you can absolutely make a bunch of it and then have a healthy snack that's also very, very satisfying. A healthy meal. This is not just a snack. This has everything that you could possibly need in it.
Another thing they can do also, you can make the dressing ahead of time. So you can always have that on hand and then just add your vegetable in there when you're ready to eat.
And remember that plant-based dressings freeze beautifully. And so this one would too. So if you wanted to make a big batch and then just have little ones on hand that you could pop out of the freezer, you can even put them in little ice cube trays so that you can add them to whatever. This would be delicious on anything. The sauce is so good. This dressing is delicious. So just making sure. Oh, how about adding brown flaxseed? Judith asks. That's actually a fantastic idea. You can absolutely do that. It will add a little bit of a texture to your dressing, but it's a fantastic way to get your ground flax in. If you wanted to add something that was high in omega-3 fatty acids and you wanted to make your sauce more creamy, then you could add hemp seeds instead of flax, and then you wouldn't get that texture, but it would still be delicious. Great questions.
Does everybody know the ginger? What is no ginger?
Ginger. So let's talk a little bit about ginger. Ginger is absolutely fantastic for you. It is a pain reliever. It helps to settle upset stomachs. It is very anti-inflammatory. It is such a fantastic thing to add on a regular basis. One of my favorite things to do with ginger is to freeze it and then just use a microplaner whenever I need a little bit of it.
To grate it.
You're going to show us a trick though.
Okay.
Let's see.
When you peel the ginger, all you need is just a spoon, the back of the spoon actually, and just, at the front. And you just scrape it down like this, and that's how you peel it. You don't have to worry about using a knife and cut yourself. Because ginger, most of the time, It comes in a funny shape.
Yes, it does.
See how weird this
little
looks?
knobblies and stuff on it.
Yeah. So using a spoon.
And then you don't waste any of it. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
When I freeze and grate it, I actually just leave the skin on.
Oh, really?
I do. I think the
Oh,
freezing
never thought
helps
of
to
that.
break down the skin a little bit.
Mm.
But that spoon trick works beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Because you're trying to use a knife to cut it, you probably lose a lot of your ginger.
And maybe a finger too. So
Yes. Like in this recipe, I just peel it like this and then use a little grater.
Yes, exactly. That's what I do too. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then just grate it. And what happens when you do this, Sue? You don't get the string.
True. This is
You
true.
see how stringy this is?
Mhm.
So when you grate it like this, you don't get the string.
And it juices it a little bit too. So this is a fantastic thing to
Yes.
add. I love ginger with my greens. A little ginger,
Mm.
fresh ginger with my sauteed kale. Absolutely fantastic.
Okay. So there you grated ginger, and that's what I use to put in the dressing.
Look at how pretty that is. And no strings.
And no string. That's the
Perfect.
nice part about it.
Okay. Okay. It is so quick, so easy. I mean, we did a lot more talking than we did cooking. That's how fast it is. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank Sivika so much for inviting me into her kitchen. This was so much fun. We just had such a fantastic time. So let's pop up and say thank you for being here.
I hope you try this recipe, and I'll see you again next time. I think I have another recipe for you next time too.
Fantastic. We're going to do
So
this
stay
again.
tuned.
Okay. Have a
Okay.
great rest of your evening, everyone.
Bye.